Hey, welcome, Kathy. Welcome, Johnny. Um, Trying to get this camera to do stuff, but it's giving me a hassle right now. Huh, that figures. When I finally figure out a way to insert pictures into this thing that we do here, YouTube makes things difficult. Huh. Alright, we're gonna work it out anyway, guys. Anyway, thanks for joining, Johnny. I know normally you're working and can't join us. That's cool. Kathy, I see that you didn't make it out to the woods tonight, huh? Oh, you already went. Okay. Yeah, well, it's getting warm out there, so it's got to be getting real ugly. Let's see if we can make this happen here. It's not exactly close, but it's not far either. What's up, everybody? It's J Mac, and we are live here on Bigfoot Input. There always seems to be a few technical difficulties to work out right at the beginning, but we're going to work through them. We're going to get there. Alright, let's get the music back. There. Alright, there's that. Disconnect. There we go. I'm going to be right with you guys in just a second. At this moment, I cannot see your comments. What the hell is going on? Okay, I see semblance of life. All right, Kathy, I'll be looking forward to seeing the pics. I was looking at some of the ones earlier from, I think that Rebecca had posted. She mentioned that it was a new site for you guys. Really cool stuff. Just get this to zoom. Make my life so much better. That's better. A lot better. Were you guys just in a different part of the Ocala National Forest? Um, I gotta tell you, Kathy, I think there was definitely a catch in one of those pictures. In fact, if you guys will excuse me for scrolling here, I have a ton of pictures on this drive in particular, but I just added that one picture in particular that I'm talking about today, and of course it's probably 30 shots back. No, here it is right here. This is it right here. So this is the picture, or one of the pictures that was taken out where you were in that area. And a little hard to see, but you see the facial features right here, where we're definitely getting the eye, the nose, the mouth, the pronounced forehead, the cone-shaped cranium, all right here. I mean, this guy's hiding, but I definitely think that this is something to look at. Yeah, she said that it was one of hers in a new spot that you and her were exploring today. Or maybe it was yesterday, I'm not sure. Yeah, no, you can absolutely make out this guy's face right here. And like I said, the shape of his head, uh, which will lead down into a body mass, but very cool shot though. Very good job. Yeah, that's even a better shot of it. I was doing some editing with these earlier. What do I want to do here? Yeah, I think, if I remember correctly, I think she had spotted it and circled it or something, or not, maybe not circled it, but she definitely had pointed it out. Um, so I just zoomed in on it a little bit. You can, like I said, you can obviously see the facial features there. I was telling Q earlier, I said, next time we go out, I was like, I'm just going to mount. I have a GoPro. I'm like, I'm just going to mount this GoPro on my shoulder. And we're just going to go and see what we come up with. Um, I mean, we're out there kind of in the same ish areas that you are. And I'm not going to say we've never experienced anything. We have. And we did find that one footprint. But I just have never gotten the film captures that you guys are getting out there. And I think a lot of it is, well, I think there's some sort of natural attraction that you're causing out there. But a lot of this, too, is that, we're stopping and taking pictures. And what you are doing is just basically walking with the camera rolling and catching these moments, because that's really all you have, is you have about a moment to catch these guys on film. And if you miss that moment, then you missed it. People often ask, why are the pictures so blurry? Yeah, and I'm like, have you ever tried to take a picture of anything with your cell phone? You got to get it out of your pocket. You got to turn it on. You got to wait for it to wake up. get to the camera app, load that up, start snapping pictures. By the time you get a picture of anything, it's gone. You know, I mean, and these guys are elusive. They don't want their picture taken, so even more so. Well, you're getting the shots, Kathy. Congratulations. We got about 8 people in the room. If anybody has anything to add, anybody has anything to say, anything you want to talk about, feel free. Don't be shy. We're real laid back sort of group, so we will talk about anything that anybody wants to talk about tonight. And we are just getting started. So trying to add some new pictures into the mix so we have something to look at while we're doing this. This is Robert Dotson. And I don't know where he was from, but if you haven't seen his stuff, it's just phenomenal. I mean, we're looking right into the face of a Sasquatch. You know, his stuff is really impressive. I think he's passed on now, though, but he has kind of a legacy to leave behind. Hey, go back. So I think they like took this picture. I can't remember if it was outside of a prison or some sort of facility that has this fence, but this this baffles me. I don't know. It's a terrible picture, and it's broadcasting even worse over the screen here, but I don't know if this is proof of the existence of Dogman. This is some sort of weird hoax. I really don't know. There you go. That's a better shot. I don't know much about this shot, although every time I see it, it has a different location tag to it. Which kind of makes me question the legitimacy of it, but it's still an interesting shot. I still refuse to believe that there are numerous large suits out there just designed to fool the Bigfooting public. You know what, Bighorn? I did see that. I browsed by it, but I have not had the chance to watch it. I was working all day, and Q and I had a nice lunch after work, so I didn't really have a chance to check that out. Picture of Patty's face. Now, is that just picture of the same face of Patty, or is that discussing the multiple faces that are behind Patty in the video? Welcome to the chat, by the way, Bighorn. Enhanced. Okay. Yeah, no, I'll check that out for sure. Like I said, I did browse by it earlier. Just haven't had the chance to look at it. It's funny that the more they enhance that video, the more convincing it is. And it seems like there's always that handful of people out there that think that they can debunk it by enhancing it, when in fact they just make it more believable. Littlefoot's grandma. Well, hello. Welcome to the chat. We're going to talk about anything you guys want to talk about tonight. Feel free to throw out any topics. We're going to scroll through some pictures. Maybe have a look at some things we've never seen before, or maybe we have. Well, Bighorn, what gets me about that video, and you know, believe me, like Robert Patterson was, how can I say it? I don't want to insult the man, but he wasn't exactly a stand-up guy. He had some dishonest qualities, okay? And there was a few things that he did that made the video kind of suspicious. But one of the things that can't be taken away from that video is that in when was it, 1963 or whatever, they had just released Planet of the Apes, and they had put all the ape characters in clothing because it would have been too expensive to have a full bodysuit. And when you look at Patty, not only would you have to have a full hair suit, you would have to have a full muscle suit under the hair suit to show the thigh definition and the back definition, the muscles, and you know, the breast tissue and stuff. I mean, it's just, in that day and age, Patterson nor Gimlin were rich men, neither one of them. And that suit, I think somebody did the math on it at one point. It would have been like something like $30,000 to make that suit in that time. So, yeah, no, they've never done a good job debunking that video ever. Well, we appreciate you following us, Grandma. Appreciate that. We do this live thing here once every 2 weeks, every other Friday night. I try to announce ahead of time. So, actually, right before you had spoke, we were talking about the other figures in the background. There's a lot of things that happened in the Patterson Gimlin film that are not discussed. One of them being that before the video was shot, there were multiple reports to the Wildlife Association and the local police departments from the people that were logging in that area, and they were reporting large, hairy, aggressive people that were basically um, opposing them from logging in that area. So then, if you watch the Patterson Gimlin film, which is actually more like 7.5 minutes rather than the 36 seconds that we always see, you'll see as they come into the shot, there are these piles of brown or black everywhere, and you could argue that they are trees, but there's some conspiracy theorists that say that those are Sasquatch bodies, that they hired people to come in and actually kill this tribe of Sasquatch to get them away so they could continue logging to make their road or whatever. I don't even know why they were logging that area. I guess probably wasn't a road. Maybe they were just harvesting trees. But so there is that theory. And then if you do look in the background, you can pull out a lot of faces. And now I'm not going to say that some of them aren't pareidolia. It's very possible that they are, but you can see, I would say, at least one good one that is most likely a second creature that was watching Patty go from point A to point B. And as far as speaking logistically, I honestly believe that that's a huge possibility that they did go in there and actually, let's just call it what it is, murder. But, they exterminated a tribe of these. And that wouldn't be the first time it ever happened. I mean, we came in, we drove Native Americans off their land and stuff like that. And I mean, the atrocities that happened during that. You think that we won't kill a bunch of Sasquatch that are standing in our way of profit? No, sure. I mean, they'll be dead. And I think watching that video, for so many years, we've assumed that those bodies, or I'm sorry, that those brown, black things in the video were logs, were trees, when in fact they could very well be bodies. Take a pause for a drink there. I told Q earlier on the way, I said I gotta stop off here for beer, and she said, I thought you didn't drink before Bigfoot Live, and I said, no, I don't drink before I make videos for YouTube. Drinking before Bigfoot Input Live is a prerequisite, so. Damien, welcome. Let's get a new picture going here. This one doesn't expose very well. Stop. Oh, this guy. The Goat Man. Oh, hey, buddy. Greetings from the U.S. from a fellow Irishman. Damien, are Sasquatch or Bigfoot a thing in Ireland? I mean, are they? I don't know. You hear a lot about Ireland being the rolling hills and the grass and this and that, but you don't hear about the dense forest and things like that. So I'm curious if they, I don't think that they're a big thing in that area. I have no idea what to think about this Goat Man shot. I don't know if this thing is legit. I kind of had laughed it off, and I had a lot of people contact me going, J-Mac, you're wrong. Goat Man's a thing, especially here in Maryland. My grandpa saw one. Everybody's got a story, so. So you say they are. That's interesting. I have a lot of people on here from more Western Europe, like England and UK and stuff like that. And those people tell me no, they're not here. I have no idea how this is going to show up on film. This is the Stacy Brown footage. He has a heat sensing camera and caught this image in the woods of North Florida. So they're sitting on the sofa, not trying to investigate. Yeah, maybe, maybe so. I've always considered it to be a matter of, because I know we have yowies in Australia. We know we have the Yiran in China, and orang pendek and yeti, and you name it. But once it gets to that like England area, that Western Europe area, everything sort of just dries up, right? Information just sort of stops. And I always sort of just link that together with the land bridge connection, however many millions of years ago. I don't have a solid theory on that as far as why, but I figure that it must be involved if there are no Sasquatch, none of these creatures in that area. You have your own footage? By the way, guys, in the group, really, I'd be interested to see it, Damien. Anyone in the group, if you have any footage that you would like us to review, please feel free to send it to Bigfoot Input at gmail.com. Bigfoot Input at gmail.com. I will personally read every email. I will watch everything that you send eventually. And it may end up in one of our future videos. But we are interested to see it. Yeah, Colorado Bigfoot. He's got some interesting stuff. He does. Some of his stuff, it's questionable, but interesting stuff nonetheless. You know, I'm gonna call you grandma for lack of a better word there, but yeah, maybe it does seem like a conspiracy, but if you look around at how the world works, I just don't think it's that far outside of the realm of possibility that we're seeing a tribe of dead Sasquatch in the Patterson Gimlin film. Like I said, I assume you've seen the extended version, which is like 7.5 minutes long. It shows a lot more than the 36 seconds that we normally see. I have some stuff on here from Colorado Bigfoot. I'm sure of it. When I'll come across it, who knows? But it'll come up eventually. The exposure on this is probably not going to allow me to show it very well. No, it's not. This is a supposed picture of a rake, but because it's black and white, it's not going to show it very well on here. Hello, Pamela. Welcome. Welcome to the group. So I'm going to say rake is a real thing, but here's the thing. I don't think it's some weird mythological creature. I want you to consider the possibility of feral humans. Okay? Feral humans that live in cave systems. If they have evolved into not needing hair to protect from the sun, not needing day vision as much as night vision, using echolocation instead of voice, I think that it's extremely possible that there is such a creature as the rake, which is really, to me, just feral humans. Yeah, you know, I know that, Kathy. You know what, Pamela, I wanted to tell you, I thought you did a good job at the conference. I enjoyed seeing all three of you up there. I thought everybody was excellent. It was an enjoyable presentation, and as a matter of fact, we didn't stay for the rest of it. We we were about an hour and a half from home, so we ended up getting there and hanging out and enjoying you guys' a segment at the conference. We hung out a little more, about a couple hours, and then we had an hour and a half drive to get back home. But so I mean, I'm just gonna be honest. I've seen Dr. Meldrum speak numerous times, and I wasn't gonna stay all day, but it was great. You guys did a good job. Yeah, you know, Grandma, I agree. I don't want that thing to be real. I don't want to be walking through the woods and come up on some feral humans. I mean, that's more terrifying, I think, than coming across a bear or even a Bigfoot. To come across a feral human, I mean, our instincts are terrible, you know. Little people. Now that's an interesting question. I have seen some video of what you might call little people. I guess I've seen, and these are not tiny. These are, you know, maybe 3 foot tall, something like that. Kind of like pygmies, if that word makes sense. In that aspect, yeah, I think so. I don't think like leprechauns or trolls are real, and I've seen like videos of fairies and stuff like that. Those are all contrived videos, but I would say as long as we're not getting too little, as long as we're not talking about underpants gnomes, yeah, I would say that there are probably pygmy tribes and stuff like that. What are these tracks we're talking about, Kathy? By the way, for anybody listening, when I say Kathy, I'm talking about Bigfoot World. I just don't want to say Bigfoot World every time because that's Kathy. She's the head of the team, Bigfoot World. There's a lot of cultures that believe in various type of little people. I just no, I don't believe in tiny humans. Like when we're talking about little, I mean, little is a matter of perception. What are we talking about here? You know, little can be 2 to 3 inches or 3 feet. And as I say, when you're talking about 2.5, 3 feet, then you're talking about pygmy humans. It could be you could be talking about dwarfism. You could be talking about whatever. Midgets, which I don't think is a socially acceptable term anymore, but whatever. So, I'll get an email. It's fine. so, um, but when you're talking about tiny people, like literally, I've seen video of like little 6-inch people running from here to there and doing little mischiefs. No, no, not really. I mean, I just don't have much of a reason to believe that's true. Damien, I'm not sure who you're asking, but my group on Facebook is Bigfoot Input, and then there is Bigfoot World Cryptids, the paranormal researchers of Central Florida on Facebook. You will find some incredible pictures and footage on Kathy's Facebook. I recommend that anybody go uh, ask to join and get in there, and you know just be respectful. That's the only caveat to joining. So um, you're gonna find some stuff that you've never seen before, and it's very impressive stuff. Kathy, I would love to believe that there aren't feral people in the central Florida forest. I would love to believe that, but with the forest being as vast as it is in central Florida, a lot of people don't get that about the Ocala National Forest and the Green Swamp and how big these areas really are. Florida is kind of a big state, and it's densely populated, but only in the on the coastlines. You know, So in the middle, there's these huge stances of area that are just untamed. Is it possible? Absolutely. All it really would take is, and just follow with me here for a second, humor me. If you go back, I'm going to say go back a couple of 100 years, and it was very common for people to sell their children to gypsies, to, different people going by. They would sell their children because they couldn't afford to feed them. Things were really, really bad. You know how bad things have to be for you to sell your kid? But I just don't think they valued that sort of thing as much back then. They just couldn't afford to feed them. Like they're starving to death. So they would sell their kids. So they're, like look at like Hansel and Gretel. I know it's a, what do you call it, a fairy tale, I guess, but that's probably based on some real shit where people just take their kids off into the forest and just leave them there. Or take them to a cave and just leave them there. Like, best of luck to you. You survive here, you don't. And these people survive because humans do. We find a way to survive. And then they maybe go deeper into the cave, live further inside. They, again, develop a lack of need for hair, which protects us from the sun. They develop night vision. They develop echolocation. Really pale skin, things like that. And there you go. You have a rake now. You have what we call the rake, which I think is really nothing more than a feral human. Thank you for letting me rant. What else do we have here? Speaking of rake, that doesn't look like a Bigfoot to me. The bare necessities, huh? Yeah, it could be Mowgli. Yeah, no, I don't think this is a Bigfoot. I don't know exactly what this is, but it appears to be something peering into a trail cam, and it looks like it has different color eye pigmentation. So I think the Bigfoots typically tend to have brown eyes. Does that seem logical to everybody? We're going to see which pictures are willing to focus and which ones are not. This one seems okay. Anybody that's followed the channel for a while knows my stance on Dogman. I am not going to go into that again. Damien, thank you. I totally will. As soon as the live show is over. I cannot do anything right now. All of my devices are tied up into this this show right now. But stop by. It won't be next Friday. It'll be the Friday after. Stop by and I'll have your pictures here where we can talk about them. That would be cool. But anyway, so anybody that follows the channel knows my stance on Dogman. I'm not going to get into that again. I'm not going to rant about it. But this picture, or whatever it may be, seems to have some long pointy ears. And maybe a tail? And a big red circle in case anybody missed it. Damien, I'll be honest, I'm interested to check these out. I really am. I have gotten such negative feedback from Europe as far as the existence. I'm interested to see these. If you don't mind, since I'm completely ignorant of Ireland, other than like Dublin, can you share whereabouts you are located? Like, where are you taking these shots? And a proximity is fine. Kathy, I was watching that last IR that you just posted. I tell you, I tend to think that is very similar um, to the other picture. Forgive me for scrolling, guys. Sorry. I'm looking for something. Anybody that has never seen Kathy Westerman's work, this is it right here. This is the coup de grace, if you will. You're going to see the eyes and the nose and the leathery face separated by the cone-shaped cranium here. And then, again, I will die on this hill that this Sasquatch, this skunk ape right here, has a ponytail right here. But either way, that is the face of a skunk ape. And that was taken by Kathy Westerman right here, our very own at Bigfoot World. I digress. That was not the one I was looking for. There it is. So Kathy, I was thinking that that guy that you captured on the IR just the other night was possibly the same guy here. Because even though there's not the same amount of definition, I don't know what it is about the whole thing. Honestly, I'm not really sure if it's just a feeling, but it really seems like the same. I'm going to say entity because we still don't quite know that this is a Sasquatch or a skunk ape. We don't really know what this is, other than we know it's a human face, humanoid face. Different area, yeah. I don't know, Kathy. I don't know that what you're filming is limited to an area. Does that make sense? You know, I know that you're getting these images of skunk apes. I know you are, but like the one picture that you had was almost impossible to deny that it was a Native American face. And I don't want to go too much off the rails here because I know this is a Sasquatch group and this is what we talk about, but we also talk about paranormal. And some of the stuff that you've captured is beyond Sasquatch. Like that one face that was coming out of that, like beside the tree or whatever, it literally looked like Geronimo. So what I'm saying is, if you are capturing more than what we know, if you're capturing paranormal, you can call it ghost, you can call it whatever you want to call it. But if you're capturing entities instead of just skunk apes, then we don't know that these are limited to areas. This could be following you. It could be, it could be more than that, you know? So I would just keep an open mind to that. Okay. Grandma, to answer your question. So, when you say different species, that's kind of a weird way of putting it. Here's how I would categorize it. You're talking about the same species, but different adaptations of. All right? So when you're talking about the Sierra Nevada Bigfoot versus the Tibetan Yeti versus the Australian Yowie versus the skunk ape, or whatever you want to call it, right? There's different ones. So just like grizzly bears, polar bears, black bears, sun bears, they're all the same species, but they're adaptations of. And a lot of that's going to come from environment and food sources. Like let's talk about like the polar bear, right? The polar bear is extremely aggressive and will eat humans without any hesitation whatsoever, and that's because they're very um, bereft of meat. Like they need protein, right? So when we talk about the Yeti, the Tibetan monks actually talk about the Yeti, talking about how they don't view it as a gentle creature or a nice creature. It's something that will eat you given the opportunity. So, um, Sierra Nevada Bigfoot, well, there you're talking about a little bit more of an opportunistic hunter. I mean, he has a lot of options when it comes to food. So you may or may not get out of that situation given this, the individual. But I don't think it's above any Sasquatch to look at humans as a food source. Okay, this is what gets me. It kills me when I see these guys that, oh, I took my 10-year-old out there. We went Sasquatch hunting. Like, are you out of your mind? They're taking their kids out there like it's a nature stroll, like they're picking blueberries. No, these are feral creatures, and they're flesh and blood. They have needs, they have desires, they have hunger. And given the opportunity, I sincerely believe that Sasquatch will use humans as a food source. Now, when you talk about the skunk apes, which are down here in our neck of the woods in Florida, Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama, these are more. We have black bears, okay? Black bears are not grizzly bears, they're not polar bears. They're very docile. They're like big, like dogs, like almost like German shepherds. Like, yeah, they're kind of dangerous. You don't want to mess with them, but they're very docile. And it's because they have various food sources. They don't look at humans as a food source. They look at humans as a threat. Skunk apes, much the same, look at humans as a threat. They look at us as a um, higher in the food chain than they are, or maybe similar. But anyway, so yeah, no, they don't really mess with humans. Um, but like I said, it depends on what region you're in as to how cautious you should be when dealing with a Bigfoot. It's not gonna focus for me. I've talked about these subjects and more. If you go back on the channel to our playlist, Ramblings of a Madman, you'll find 3 or 4 subjects like this about Sasquatches using humans as a food source, about Sasquatches versus human disappearances versus cave systems, Dogman, and a few other subjects. You're welcome to go and listen to them. They're only 3-4 minutes. And it's just kind of things that come to mind that we should be talking about. Question: did anyone happen to catch our last video about the guy who accidentally peed on a Bigfoot? So we are not giving up our old forums. I shouldn't say forum, but we have a certain way of making videos. You know, it's like we do picture analysis, we do video analysis, we do audio, we do storytelling, and we've picked up a new. Yeah, check it out, Kathy. It's only about 3 minutes long. We picked up a new way of doing videos. What we'd like to do is not focus on the background pictures as much and just tell a short story. Something that you can digest in like 3 minutes and then move on with your life, you know, but still find it interesting. Some of our videos are more in the 20-minute range, and they're a lot to digest. So we want to try both. We want to try to do, you know, and there's some people that really enjoy those really deep dive videos, and we have some deep dive videos, and that's fine. But we want to try to appeal to different people. These are going to be small 3 to 4 minute videos where you can just hear a cool story, you know, on your way to work or whatever, you know. I don't know if you guys want to talk about this picture at all, but I don't really, I don't know. The Bigfoot doesn't look real to me. Like I'm never that guy that claims, oh, it's a suit, but it doesn't look real. But whatever this dog is looking at is totally real. Like, I always trust dogs, but I don't think this is above like a Photoshop or something to that effect. I'm not really sure what this picture is, but I'm gonna move on from it. Oh, I love this picture. This is so cool. Yeah, maybe so, Grandma. It just looks, I don't know. It looks fake to me. I don't. It just screams fake. The face and everything. Face looks like some sort of costume gorilla. It doesn't look. I don't know. It's not convincing. So I'm gonna have to just go with that. You know, but pictures like this are amazing to me. These are showing up more and more where these trees are being entirely uprooted, sometimes removed of all bark, and they are being turned upside down and stabbed into the ground. You know the kind of strength that it would take not to only lift this log, but to jam it into the ground to the point where it stands on its own into this rocky shoal. I mean, this is terribly impressive. and you're out in the middle of nowhere. This looks like Alaska to me. It's just really impressive, and I think that this is a this is something we're going to start seeing. I think not in lieu of tree structures, but definitely alongside of tree structures. I think there was a lake in, I want to say it was one of the lakes in Michigan that had like, I don't know, like 10 of these things just completely uprooted and flipped over and stabbed into the ground. And I mean, that to me, that just eliminates all human intervention. Like one, okay, maybe, but 10 of them, no. And why? Why would you bother? Like it means something to Sasquatch. Like we don't know what the hell it means. So when you talk about Pamela, when you talk about cloaking, I'm gonna put things in like a clear perspective. Like for me, cloaking. If you look at videos of owls or chameleons or some bugs, fish, they have these quote unquote cloaking abilities. They have an ability to hide in their environment. So when you're talking about a Sasquatch or Bigfoot hiding in the tree line, hiding in the forest, then I'm on board. I agree with you. Yes, I think that they can possibly do that. Absolutely. When you talk about them disappearing into thin air and turning invisible and getting into a portal and going to another dimension and flying away with Superman, then that's where you lose me. Because I mean, I know like it's a conspiracy. Bigfoot is a conspiracy theory. I don't like to compound a conspiracy theory with another conspiracy theory. That's where it gets confusing. That's where you lose people. Let's keep this thing simple. Let's try to prove existence first. And then if Bigfoot can travel to a third dimension, then hallelujah. We'll figure that out on another day. If you guys dig this music, let me give them a shout out. It's the Relaxed Movement. It is non-copyrighted music, kind of a jazzy feel. Go check them out for sure. You guys are bringing some great topics to the table. Thank you. Appreciate that. Always makes the evening go slower when people actually want to talk about stuff. Let's see what else do we have to look at here. I have so many pictures. Oh, this is interesting. Yes. Let's talk about this thing. Oh yeah, thank you, Pamela. Yeah, I dig the music. I do. I found this channel. I wanted music on the channel as a background, and I wanted stuff that was non-copyrighted, you know. So I just stumbled upon this relaxed movement, man, and it's a very cool little background noise. I like it. So let's talk about this picture. So I did a video, I don't know, a while back uh, about Ogopogo, right? Which is like another word for champ or Tessie or Nessie, whatever, right? Loch Ness Monster. So the the details are in that video, and please don't ask me to remember all of them, but basically there's a lake in northern, I think it's in Alberta, Canada. Maybe it's Ontario. Anyway, it's in Canada. There's a lake, and in that lake they have claimed, there's a lot of claims that they've seen this monster, this Loch Ness monster. And they call it the Ogopogo, and that's a Native American term. Native American being Canadian Native Americans. And the whole story goes that I don't know. It's a big mythology that, you know, this creature I don't know, was somehow shunned by humanity, and then it ended up in the lake. And now, if you go in the lake, you're in danger of being, your soul being consumed by this creature, and etc., etc. Right? Blah blah blah. Right? So, this picture arose. In fact, I know I have that picture on here. Again, forgive me for scrolling. There it was. There it was. Okay, right here. So, this creature kind of looks like a dragon face, and it's got these little like horns coming out of the top there. This was recent. This was like in 2022. They got this picture, and a lot of people were saying, "Well, this is the Ogopogo." This is the exact same lake, by the way, in this area. So here's the trick to this picture, though. The thing is, they have boat races in this same lake like once a year, and they dress the boats up like Ogopogo. And a lot of people are theorizing that this fell off of one of the floats and is now floating in the lake. So that's what it is. Now maybe, or maybe this couple caught a picture of an Ogopogo. I don't know. So let's back it up to the other picture that I was trying to show you first. If we can find it now. There it is. Okay. So this picture here. This picture was taken, I want to say, in 1943, somewhere around there. Yeah, so it could be some sort of mask. We don't know. Like, there's no video of it, unfortunately. No one really, like, you know, I think they, like, took a picture and they're like, get the hell out of here. They just took off, you know, but they got the picture first. Anyway, so this picture here, 1943, they found this thing floating in this is the same lake. This is the same one in Canada that's in question. They found this thing floating in the lake. They threw a rope around it, which you can see the ropes around its neck. They drug it ashore, and they took pictures of it. And I know that you can't catch the detail, but if you look at it real closely, you will see that this is a tree. So it's a log. Here's the cracks in the log right here. See the cracks? So this is nothing but a log. and they added this little decoration to it to make it look like some sort of sea monster. They added this thing, and they just threw it out there as some sort of prank. Because let's be honest, in 1943, you didn't have cell phones, you didn't have, video games to keep yourself busy. So if you're a teenager, you're bored, and this is what you did. Now, here's the trick, right? So they say, well, this right here, this picture proves that all Ogopogo sightings were a prank because of this. Because there was a lot of sightings before this thing was found. That is bullshit. Sorry, but it is. So, yeah, every time there's something out there, there's somebody that's going to prank it, fake it, use whatever tools they have, CGI, Photoshop, to sort of make themselves feel better, like, haha, I fooled everybody. There's always those people that are going to do that, always. That does not mean that the Ogopogo or the Loch Ness Monster or Tessie or Nessie, whatever, are fake. That doesn't mean that at all. Although I do have on good authority that Champ is fake. I know someone who is very honest, who lived in the area of Lake Champlain, and says that Champ there is no monster in that lake, and it was a prank that was used to drum up some sort of tourism in that area, and then it backfired and the tourism became too much and actually ruined the area for the locals that lived there. So take that for what it's worth. That's just another story, but I guess I would have to believe the person that told me that. So we have went from Bigfoot to feral people to Nessie. You never know what we're going to talk about here on Bigfoot Input. I really hope this comes through. Can you guys see this? Can you see this guy right here? This is a tree. And this guy is peeking out from behind the tree. With just perfect facial features. Alright guys, we have 16 people in the room. Welcome everybody, this is J-Mac, and welcome to Bigfoot Input Live. Please feel free to speak up, and we're going to talk about anything that you want to talk about. If you have a subject, if you have a question, no question is dumb. No question is to be embarrassed about. If you have anything that you want to talk about, please feel free to throw it out here right now. Lisa, welcome to the group. Yeah, it's obviously... Get my little pointer here. Obviously an eye socket right here. Nose, mouth. Very nice, pronounced cone-shaped cranium right there. This big guy is peeking out from behind this tree. So this is the tree right here, and he's looking out to say hello. This is a very cool picture. I don't know. I wish I knew the artist of this picture. But it's very cool. Yeah, it is. Affidavit, welcome to the group. You want to go back and look at that again? We can go back and check that out a little more. It is a really great shot. Once again, there's our guy right there peeking out from behind that tree. Bigfoot World, Kathy, I think obviously the answer to that question is skunk ape, would be a Sasquatch. They're gonna pull those palm fronds up. They're eating palm hearts. They're eating, I think they call them palm berries. Like the little palm nuts and stuff like that. They're eating those. They're probably also finding worms and different things inside of those sago palms. So yeah, they're pulling them up by hand. They're eating whatever they want. They're leaving them, discarding the rest as nature would. So to me, that's one of those obvious things where it's like, bears are gonna use their teeth and their claws. So you're gonna find those markings on those bushes, those trees. But when they're done by a Sasquatch with humanoid hands, then you're not going to see those type of markings. Lynn Cop, welcome. Uncle Jim, that old son of a bitch. All right, let's take a moment to enjoy this picture. Like I said, I wish I knew the artist of this picture. I would definitely give them credit, but I think it's a very cool shot. I like it a lot. Yeah, please do send me that picture, Pam. Obviously, Bigfoot Input at gmail.com, or Kathy can just shoot me a message on Messenger. I would be interested to see that picture. I believe, I'm not surprised at all that they were put down um, in the same direction, you know? When you look at things like these peanut butter jars that are being cleaned out without any claw marks, without any teeth marks, when you're looking at, say, Florida Bigfoot, he's putting out tuna sandwiches, and the sandwiches are being eaten and the packages are being put back where they came from. I mean, we're obviously dealing with a very intelligent creature here who's not just dealing with instinct to rip these packages open and eat the food. So, hey, Robin Nessie, what's happening, brother? Glad you could make it. Good to see you too, man. It's been a while, and I've changed venues, but I'm always still right here at Bigfoot Input. So, old dog ate my homework, huh? I get it. Rob, stop by my shop there on Nova. You know what I'm talking about. Come on by and say hey, and we'll see what we can get into. All right. I appreciate that, man. I really do. We got a new video out just the other day. We're trying a little 3-minute story format. Um, Something just short but interesting. Check that out. We're also doing the picture analysis that we've always done. We're gonna try to get into some new stuff and keep this train rolling. All right, guys. We're gonna take a quick pause for the cause, and I do mean quick. We'll be back within 3 minutes, guaranteed. So don't run off. Think about something you want to talk about. Post it up, and we will be right back. Grandma, thanks for joining us. And have a great weekend. Hopefully, we see you in 2 weeks in the next live feed. All right, I will be right back, guys. All right, I told you I wouldn't be long. Let's see what else we got to look at here. Oh, everyone was enjoying this picture. I posted this one the other day. This is, I don't know, werewolf, dog man. How the hell do you tell the difference? And everyone was pointing out they thought that he had a. Some people said it was a cigarette. Some people said it was a marijuana cigarette. I don't know. In his hand there. I'm not really sure what the artist was going for. Something. But I'll tell you what. If I was out anywhere and I saw this boy coming at me, oh no. Oh no. I'm out of there, Kathy. I'm gone. Could you imagine? I'm gonna need a stretcher and a clean pair of drawers. You better hope he's smoking weed and hope he's calm. So I heard a really interesting story about a Wendigo the other day, and they didn't call it a Wendigo, but you see, Pam knows what's up. See, like I'm not sticking around for a picture on this one. I gotta go, son. Like I ain't got time for that. Nuh-uh. So the story, they weren't calling it a Wendigo, but the story went like, the short version is two boys were camping in the woods, fishing, not far from their little village. And they were out there at night, and they were sitting beside the river, just talking around a campfire. And they saw what they thought was antlers coming across the river towards them. They thought it was a deer. So as the antlers got closer and closer and closer, they could see these white eyes. Like not glowing eyes, not, taped and loose to them, but like white. Like pearly white. So the one little boy who was like Native American told the other little boy who wasn't, said, do not talk to it. Don't listen to what it has to say. Pretend it's not there. So this thing basically showed up at some point over one of the boys' shoulders. And it was saying things in a whispering voice, but the little boys kept talking, kept making conversation, kept just pretending that it wasn't there. Even though they could obviously know, they knew it was there. And the one boy said he didn't get a clear look at its face because he was trying not to make eye contact, but he could see white eyes and he could see antlers. So this like clearly describes a Wendigo. And although I don't have a lot of experience with them, I mean that's terrifying. So I mean I don't know what the rules are out there, in the Wendigo world, but I mean it was waiting on these boys to respond, to make contact, to speak, and listen to what it had to say. And because they never did, and then at some point they got up and just took off running, they survived. And I until I heard that story, I'm not even really sure if I took the Wendigo seriously at all. But hearing that story was like, wow. Yeah, that makes sense, Lisa, I guess, because if you're a dog man, then you're basically a bipedal canine. But a werewolf is a human that takes on wolf-like qualities. What else do we have here? This is similar to the other picture, but it's different. Different author, different picture, same cool shot of the hair, the nose, the eyes, the mouth. It's a very cool shot. Yeah, so Pamela, that's a subject that I have never really dove deep into, is skinwalkers. I know that there's a lot of talk about them. Even Post Malone stayed at the Skinwalker Ranch and claimed that he saw some supernatural stuff while he was there. It's just not a subject that I've ever really got that deep into. I was always too busy with the Sasquatch. And paranormal ghost type stuff too. Yeah, I got what you were trying to say though, is that the Skinwalker and the Wendigo are the same, but they come from two different lore. You know, and again, I'm not an expert on either subject, but I'm just saying, I know that the Wendigo is kind of a Canadian thing, whereas the Skinwalker, as far as I know, sort of originated from Skinwalker Ranch, which is here in the States. Yeah, this is a great picture. I don't know who the author of this picture is, unfortunately. I would love to give them credit, but this is a great picture. It's a little bit of humor. I thought this was funny. So I was trying to find Bigfoot, and there's Bigfoot. We don't know that they're all around us all the time. Okay, is it? Yeah, I was tempted to say that it does look like Colorado Bigfoot. Again, I do think that some of Colorado Bigfoot stuff is questionable, but some of his stuff is undeniable. He's kind of like a Scott Carpenter to me, where it's like I don't really believe everything he puts out is genuine, but some of the stuff he puts out is undeniable. And to me, this is undeniable. So yeah, thank you for clarifying that. I thought it might be, but wasn't sure. Some nice artwork. Like that one, of course, that right there. That would be Miss Rebecca's picture again. If anybody missed that at the beginning. Oh, great. Well, thanks for joining us, Lisa. Appreciate that. Kathy, do you pronounce her name Rollison? Rollison. I figure that's how it's pronounced. Rebecca Rollison. Okay. That's her picture. Oh, I love this picture. Again, I don't know who the artist is. It's not signed. This is such a cool picture, though. It's kind of like if your dad was a Bigfoot, you know? He looks stern, but not mean, you know? Yeah, that eye picture, I have always been on the fence about that picture. I, I mean, I know it's not a Bigfoot, it's not a Sasquatch, it's a little undetermined as far as what it may be, and I guess that's probably what makes it interesting. But no, I don't believe it's any sort of Sasquatch. This, of course, is the Provo Canyon. Sorry, one of the Provo Canyon Sasquatch photos. There's 3 photos in this particular series, plus there's 2 videos and I think possibly another photo from Provo Canyon. This is Siberia, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is one of the pictures that shows something in the Sasquatch's hair, which we tend to believe is a braid. Forgive me for scrolling. I'm trying to find this picture in question. Scrolling. Whoop. Hey. There it is. Does Pamela have any insight on this picture? Yeah, it almost looks to me like somehow or the other, either they planted the camera on the ground or it got knocked on the ground, because this creature is looking down at the camera. My little pin dealing. There it is. Saw some other interesting pictures. Stop it. There we go. You guys have seen this picture before, right? There's a lot of speculation about this picture, but I find it hard to see it any other way other than this being the creature's arm on the ground, cone-shaped head, and leg here. It's just sitting and is looking off in this direction here. Adventure Monty, welcome, my friend. I'm glad that you joined us tonight. We were finally able to set up a system through Facebook Live that allows us to look at pictures, even though not all of them are going to be 100% in detail, because of the way YouTube Live is set up. We were able to get something going on here. Really, Lisa, yeah, this is a very popular picture. A lot of people want to say that, like, it's like a bear with its ass in the air. Um, I can't agree with that, and I can't really see it that way. Let's see what else there is out there in the world. This was a picture for a while that was floating around, and this was all you could see of it right here, this guy. And it turns out to be I think it's a hearing aid commercial, actually. Yeah, hearing is believing, so that is not real. I don't know what to say about this picture. Like, it feels like a suit, but then you have the tapetum lucidum in the eyes there, so you can see the eyes shine. So that one stumps me. I I tend to think that one's real. Of course, this one I think we saw this earlier. This is Robert Dotson. You can obviously see the face right here in this area. This is a genuine picture of a Sasquatch. I'm not sure about this picture. I'm really not. It almost seems like it wants to be like a fake, you know, because it's just a little too good. A little too good. But obviously it's a picture of a hairy humanoid creature reaching into the river, possibly for a fish or something. And I agree with you, Monty. People say every day to me, they say, well, we've never proven existence. Well, we've never really proven non-existence either, which is impossible. And it's true. There are so many quality images and videos that exist out there in the world that people just don't know about. I don't even want to talk about this video if you guys can't see it, or this image if you guys can't see it. I know it's like it's hard to see on the screen. I'll try. So the way most people see this image is that this is a cone-shaped head right here, and that there is a creature on its back with these like little white spots. Again, I don't know if those are showing up on camera. The truth is, at least my version of the truth, okay? This is the head of this creature. This is the wing of this creature. There's another wing here. This is an owl. This is not a Sasquatch at all. And you'll find this picture. I think it was on like one of the Bigfoot shows online and stuff. So again, this is not a Bigfoot in my opinion. Again, they will show the head and they say, well, this is a baby Bigfoot, or this is another creature on his back, whatever. But if you look at it this way, again, look at this as a wing here. Look at another wing here that's closing. Look at a head here. Here are the markings of this owl's body. And it's swooping down on a creature that's down here. This is an owl. And I will die on this hill that this is not a Sasquatch creature. This is an owl. And I challenge anyone to change my mind. Please do. So, I don't know how well you guys can see this one. This is a still shot from a video. This is the guy that was filming the video. This is the creature that was in the video. Look at the height difference. This guy, assume that this guy here is 6 foot tall. This is easily a 10 foot tall creature. Okay. This is a tree root system that was uprooted. So this video is very cool, right? It shows this creature, and they filmed the Sasquatch. It's great, right? I'm going to show you something else, though. Let's do this. I don't know. Can we see this? Can we see right here in the middle? Right here? Can you see that? Can you see the rolls on the legs? Unfortunately, this is not a real Sasquatch. This is a cheap suit that is draped onto this very tall person, or a person standing on something to make himself appear tall. But unfortunately, this right here proves that he is not real. Diltov, am I saying that right? The Diltov incident. This is the incident that happened in uh, the northern Russian mountains, Diltov Pass. I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly. They call it the Diltov Pass incident. Incident is such an innocent word that they use to describe 9 people that were absolutely massacred. Um, Chests crushed in, tongues ripped out, just complete disembowelment of bodies, and they called it an incident. And they have various reasons of why this happened. There's nuclear reasons, there's paranormal reasons, there's all sorts of reasons. But when you look at what actually happened, it all sort of points to a Yeti. So the girl that was there, she was one of the girls that was in the group. She was 19. She was the photographer of the group. She was taking all the pictures. This picture is claimed to be one of the pictures that she took on this expedition. This is 100% a Yeti. Yetis are often mistakenly believed to be white. That's not a case. That's not the case. In fact, they're mainly dark. And if this is an actual picture from that reel of photos that was taken, this girl actually took a picture of the creature that killed them. I agree, Monty. It's hard to connect this photo to the other photos, although they are all very similar in nature, and you can find this picture within that group of photos. Yeah, so if you look at that girl's line of photos, there's various websites that have all of the pictures that she took. And they're all in the same black and white, they're all in the same quality. When this photo is aligned with those photos, it's very hard to differentiate a difference, one photo from the next. So, being that the whole incident is very quiet, because it's a Russian incident, like they're not gonna be very boisterous about it. So, but you will find this picture in line with those other photos, and you'll find that it matches those other photos. Like if it looked weird, compared to the other photos that she took, then I would have to say, well, it's not real. Then it's different, but it's not different. It's exactly the same. So I would say that it's very much in line with the other photos that she took. So. Is this picture real? I don't know. I don't know. But there's multiple pictures of this same creature. This is a interesting picture. Actually, it's a movie called Sasquatch Among Wild Men, and it's good. If you haven't seen it, I would recommend that you watch it. But this is a photo from the movie. And it's a documentary, obviously. Kathy, who is that guy? Who's the Josh guy? That hello, Sasquatch Confessions, welcome. Who is the Josh guy that I was talking about last time we were here? That was making a noise in the group as far as like coming up with some really good pictures. Hello, Margie. Welcome to the group. Forgive the scrolling there. No, this is a local. I can't remember his name. Anyway, it's not important. I was just kicking around an idea. The Sasquatch Confessions. I think I just watched one of your videos today, actually. Yeah, Kathy, I used one of his pictures in our last video, and I was chastised by him for using the picture. And I promised him I would never use his pictures again. Yeah, he did. And it's funny, when you put a picture on Facebook, you don't own it anymore. Like, anyone can use it for anything. And I normally do try to ask permission from people before using their photos, but there's so many, like, it's hard to ask everyone's permission. So, yeah, he was all upset about it. Yeah, I'll zoom in on this picture. I think this is Stacy Brown's photo. Stacy Brown took a infrared video from a national park in North Florida. I can't remember the name, but it was near Tallahassee. And I think this is his photo. He's a super cool guy. Well, I appreciate that, Kathy, and I will. I gotta build my channel on something, you know? I mean, can't just make my own photos of Sasquatch. So I myself have never like physically seen a Sasquatch. I have a picture of a track. Yeah, you're right, Pamela. Thank you. That's exactly where it was. I have a picture of a physical track, like a footprint, and I have a story about a crazy howl that I heard in Pennsylvania, which you can find on our channel. But I have not physically seen a Sasquatch, no. I think you got it right, Pamela, or at least damn close, so good enough. I don't think so. No, I don't. Thank you, Margie. That is the Relaxed Movement, non-copyrighted music on YouTube. The Relaxed Movement. Sasquatch Confessions. Did you have like a peanut butter jar that wasn't ripped apart, like no teeth marks, that sort of thing? I'll check it out after this, Kathy. I can't. I have no other devices to go check. My phone is doing one thing, my tablet's doing another, my Chromebook is doing another. I have all my devices tied up right now, but I'll check it out when I get out of here. Bigfoot Input at gmail.com, you guys. Bigfoot Input at gmail.com. Feel free to send us anything that you would like to have looked at. We will possibly use it in a future video or talk about it here on Bigfoot Live. We do this live thing once every 2 weeks, so twice a month. Always on a Friday night, always at 8:30. So this week it won't be next week, but it'll be the following week after that. Please feel free to join us. Yeah, Kathy, actually, I did watch those videos. Uh, I gotta be honest, you guys are catching so many things out there. It's a little hard to keep up. Um, there's obviously more than Bigfoot going on out there where you are. Thank you, Sasquatch Confessions. Yeah, I'll go check it out after the live show. I can't do anything right now. Tied up in this live show. All my devices are tied up, so. Sasquatch Confessions, please go check out Bigfoot World, Cryptids, the Paranormal Investigators of Central Florida. They have some great stuff you might want to check out. And post your own stuff there too. So. Thanks for joining us, Sasquatch Confessions. Alright, guys, I appreciate everybody joining us. I am over on time, but it seems like everyone is having fun, so I stayed. Join us here every 2 weeks, so it's not this next Friday, but the following Friday. I will post beforehand, let everybody know that we're going to get together. Please join us. It's usually a good time, and I appreciate everyone's attendance. Kathy, Pamela, thanks a lot for joining us. I think we're going to shut it down for the night, though. Thanks for joining us, Lisa. I appreciate that. Join us next time. Kathy, I know I'll see you next time. Monty, thank you, sir. Join us next time. We'll see you then. Pamela, nice to have you. We'll see you next time. We'll see you guys next time. Alright, have a good night. This is J Mac out, and keep squatching.